Hey, welcome back. Michael Ventrone, Ventrone Enterprises, LLC. Again, my documentary here on Chester County Orphans Court in Pennsylvania and the fraud committed with these trust funds that they run there. This is my latest effort to try to get Orphans Court in Chester County to do the right thing and to fix what they've done. Okay? So there's two of them that happened here. There's a petition to adjudicate me because Tennell has found me in contempt, and I'm supposed to pay Fox Rothschild legal fees for them covering up the fact that there's no trust fund in Chester County. And there's a petition to remove Lynn Ventrone as co-trustee. Okay? Because at this point, it's supposed to be William Cooper III and Lynn Ventrone as the co-trustees. So Coop petitions to get rid of her. And somebody, I have his name on one of the documents, $900 an hour Fox Rothschild lawyer, comes up with, if there's a vacancy, we don't have to replace it. This would be the end of Judge Tennell's career. So again, from a recap, it's a codicil to will, right? It's an add-on to the will. Basically, supposed to create a trust fund with the money left from George Sr. and Sheila Hunt. And Dylan is the one that created it. Ashley's my ex-wife. Her sister, Mary, and Dylan are supposed to be the co-trustees. And George Jr. is supposed to name any new co-trustees should one of them decide not to serve anymore. Okay? So, previously, in Orphans Court, Chester County, Dylan files a codicil to will. I have a failed petition to replace the co-trustees, because again, I think Coop and Jimmy are the co-trustees rather than Lynn Ventrone and Penn Liberty Bank, with Coop protecting them, right? Make sure my mother doesn't do anything wrong. So much fraud, right? Again, failed petition to try to get rid of Coop and put my dad in place, right? And then a failed petition for an audit. So again, a lot of money, a lot of the Hunt family money is being paid to Fox Rothschild via legal fees to prevent anyone from saying what happened to their money. So again, Coop the financial rapist is the one that's making decisions of let's litigate, let's go back to court, let's pay legal fees, let's burn through the Hunt family money, protecting me. Because at this point, he's not enriching himself anymore, he's protecting himself. And Julie Goldstein, the skirt here, is more than happy to keep getting paid. She's got to know something's wrong at this point. She's more than happy to keep getting paid with my stolen marital asset, because that's what it really comes down to pay her legal fees. All right? So again, there's supposed to be a trust fund for Ashley's health. All right? Very first word is health. So the parents know something's wrong with her, right? Not a dime. Not a dime of the $1.2 million was ever spent for her health care. As a matter of fact, they paid Aaron Weems to prevent my son from getting proper dental work, saying the money was strictly for his mother. Disgraceful. That's in family court. We'll get to those later. And again, the termination of the trust, they could give us the money at any time. And if they never created a trust, well, then that part of the codicil to will was invoked, and the money was given to Ashley, which then means it's a marital asset because we were married at the time. Again, this is all fraud, guys. It's all fraud. All right? So we're running from February of 2021 up to April of 2021. So again, this is years ago, right? So I submit it, Goldstein submits it, right? And this is one to adjudicate me and make me pay legal fees, okay? So she's requesting her attorney fees, blah, 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 for what Tennell did previously when he refused to provide me an audit or anything else, okay? So I put the objections in. I submit this in 2020. Okay, I use the same documents that they played games with my mom, and I basically made myself co-trustee, right? And then I start billing them. I think it was a little under $90,000 by the time I was done. Because I'm charging the same $550 that Aaron Weems, the divorce lawyer, was charging. I don't know what she was charging. I know the $900 an hour lawyer, right? And again, Dylan, he's nowhere to be found, you know? Once he was out of it, he didn't care anymore. And that's a shame because he's getting copied on the petitions. He's got to know something's wrong. This is how much he cared about George Hunt Sr. and Sheila Wall Hunt, that he just allowed this to happen, not only to their youngest daughter, their youngest granddaughter, and their only grandson. Okay? So again, suddenly Tennell sends a request to me that I'm to appear in court and say why I should be continuing as co-trustee of a trust fund that's not real. So now at this point, so I think it was Coop, because I don't see Julie Goldstein on these latest petitions. So at this point, he's got to be full panic mode, right? So he submits it to adjudicate me and make me pay the legal fees, right? But he sends a second petition to remove Hundt-Ventrone as his co-trustee and take full control of the money. Not that he didn't have full control with Jimmy's help in the first place. He wants the court to say he's in charge, nobody else, right? So I answer this on March 15th as far as paying their legal fees, right? The first petition. The second petition to get rid of my mother, I don't get copied on. Now, and of course, Dylan doesn't get copied on because at this point he's clearly stating, I'm keeping the money, it's my money. Basically, Fox Rothschild money, my money, pay for his kids' golf lessons, whatever he wants with the money. There's no record keeping, right? So, again, that is a blatant rule of 4.3 for Orphans Court. You have to send the co-trustees copies of it, and obviously Judge Chanel has identified me as a co-trustee. They didn't do it. He did it on purpose, right? 2 days apart. My sister, while my parents are down in Florida, is at the house. She gets the petition from the courts. I have her open it. I believe it was like number 18, because they go through all these, steps, this. I'm like, Allison, read me number 18. And I'm looking at number 18 on mine for their legal fees. It's not even close. That is when I realized they're violating Rule 4.3. Blatantly violating it. So he's trying to defraud the court. All right? It's bad enough you're defrauding the Ventrone family, my ex-wife, myself, the kids, with your pretend trust fund. Now you're going to defraud the courts. How is this piece of still practicing law? He should be behind bars. Coop, the financial rapist. Okay? So, what happens? He's reject the audit, and then he removes me as co-trustee. This is important. He removes me as co-trustee. So those billings of almost $90,000, which I still haven't been paid for, are legit. Tennell himself identified that. I don't know if he was trying to do me a favor at that point or what he was doing. What I do know is I'm removed. I can never have anything with this trust fund again. Okay? So the bigger part was removing my mother. Okay? And removal of a trustee, okay? The court has the authority, but it's very, very important. A suitable co-trustee or successor trustee is available. In other words, the judge can get rid of my mother, but he's got to replace her with somebody. And this is what ended Tennell's career. He broke the law. Coop, the financial rapist, and the skirt suckered the judge into breaking the law. But it's crooked-ass Chester County. Who cares? Lawyers are making a bunch of money. That's what's important. Okay? Then he comes back saying, I'm practicing law without a license. Now, this is because I submitted the response from my mother, who was down in Florida at the time, and they knew this, and I signed that I was submitting it on her behalf. So that's me practicing law without a license. Fun fact, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, an MJ, which is like your lowest judge, I call them MJ at the shopping mall, they're all over the place. Every little township has an MJ before you go to the county judge. So at that point, it's a district court. So the MJ at the shopping mall doesn't have to be a lawyer. They don't have to pass the bar exam. And they're a judge. And he's accusing me of practicing law without a license. You gotta be kidding me. Plus, pro se. I have every right to be my own lawyer in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Unbelievable, right? So again, removal of the trustee. If there's not a suitor or a successor, you can't remove them. And he removes them, and he makes William Cooper III sole trustee. Again, they sucker the judge into breaking the law. Okay? So again, his career is over. We know the money's been moved at this point. And it had been moved in 2016. WSFS Bank from Delaware came up and they bought Penn Liberty Bank, which was like 5 branches. These 2 guys that were with a bigger bank created it, grew it, and then sold it. So they did well, okay? But when that happened, Jimmy Q, baby, took the money, whether it was a trust fund, an inheritance, whatever, took the money from Penn Liberty Bank and he took a job at Wheatley Financial Franchise in Delaware County. Okay? So we're in Montgomery County, the trust fund is in Chester County, and they're moving the money to Delaware County. What I want to know, Jimmy, how many other accounts did you take with you? How much money did you take out of Penn Liberty Bank before WSFS came up and purchased them? I've tried to get WSFS to do something about it. I've gone to their legal department because Arden Credit Union, Penn Liberty Bank, they don't have a legal department. They're small banks, right? So how many? How many people have they done this to, right? It's like the drug addict, right? He goes to Trader Joe's, he steals some stuff, sells it dirt cheap, gets his dope. The dope runs out. What's he do? Goes back to Trader Joe's and steals something. Well, every year, they've got private school for the kids. They've got college. They've got vacation homes. They've got private clubs, right? So every year, you got to keep making those payments. So just like the guy that needs his drugs, they need more money. How many people have they done this to? How many? It wasn't just me. No way. Okay? And at this point, there's no protection for Ashley or her kids. None whatsoever. They've got the money. They're going to do whatever they want to it, and they're going to continue burning through it until there's not a dime left. Okay? So the cost? Well, again, none. Judge Chanel initiated this one, right? And Coop initiated it to get rid of my mother. All I'm doing is trying to defend us and trying to protect my family. Right? And at this point, hopefully there's a judge that will abide by the law. I'm an IT guy. I do project management, right? So if I got a project and somebody's not getting the job done, I get rid of them. I go to the resource manager, say, hey, I need somebody better than this. They move that person, bring somebody better in. I've taken the same approach with the courts. Very successful in IT, not so much in the courts. Then again, if Chester County's the one that's running the scam, what do you got to do? Because again, they got to be in charge of it. It's a scam I've been in this for over a decade. This is probably going on for generations. Fancy, Scott Paper, Campbell's Soup, the DuPonts, idiot kids. Money, 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 easy money. Just rip them off. So again, what's the next step? Well, we know Coop is now sole trustee. Jimmy's got control of the money. The skirt is doing her job, being paid with stolen money, but she's doing her job. And Aaron Weems here in Montgomery County, paid with this stolen money, doing his job. Everybody's doing their jobs, right? So how many other families? How many families have suffered from this? It's a scam, for crying out loud. It's a scam. So again, you can email me. The website is out there, foxrothschilds.net. Try to get these on YouTube. They definitely will be on the Ventrone Enterprises Facebook page. Everything is out there. You go to the website, everything's out there. On the files page, you'll see all the documents, more than you could ever, absorb. It'd take you forever to read it all, okay? But again, donate. Donate if you can. The links are out there on the website. Try to help us.